Hi guys, yeah again. I just realized that there was some important things I forgot to show everyone yesterday, so I thought I'd put together another quick video just summarizing one or two small things. Okay, so I already have PCB open, but there was something very important which I forgot to do. As you start PCB, there's an important step that I said has to be taken into consideration. I'm just going to minimize that. Let's say we were starting PCB fresh, so I'm just going to go new. Right, I have a new file open in PCB. The very first thing before or with changing to millimeters is I said you need to drop in your template. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Tools, libraries, no, templates. I think it was, let's go with this one. Okay, draw symbol, right. Aha, see now yesterday I had made the mistake of not saving my file name first. So I still have my automatic in here. What this is supposed to just remain a template because I want what's at the bottom of this block. I'm going to press Control 1 because I want this information here. So I'm just going to delete all of this. And let's say we started our file fresh in PCB, and this is what we got. We loaded our template, which is the very first step. Cool. I said that yesterday and I did do that. However, I forgot to change this. You need to fill in everything here before you proceed, because if you submit this, who's going to know who did what? They won't know you did it, even if you give it on a flash and as your student number or whatever. This is very important. You'll forget to do it in a later stage if you don't do it now, like I forgot yesterday. So let's do that. You go straight to your notes section. This is the shortcut here. Go to your fields, and then you edit certain things here. Some things will be easy to locate, like you'll see student number is in bold there, but this is under the Gerber reference. Let's go ahead and see if I can change it here. Just make a bogus student number. Okay, and I'm just going to close that just so we can see it works. Now you'll notice it won't refresh immediately. Once you scroll away from it and you scroll back, it should change. Okay, so that field had no relation over here. I'm going to go back to the notes menu, go to fields. This is kind of the way that you find out what goes where. You kind of feel it out. Like here, SEH file name is schematic file name. We can see XXX SEH, that is already. That's kind of giving us an indication that that might actually be that field. That isn't always the case, but a lot of times it is. So file name, let's go PCB tests.
Welcome to the galaxy of dreams.
Okay, I don't think I even have to. Oh yes, I have to. I'm okay with this now. It does that. Scroll away, scroll back. PCB test. As you can see. Also something else. I think what I did was I dropped this in the incorrect way. I need to verify this. The ways when you put in your template, you're not supposed to be able to select any of this. You see, you're not supposed to be able to change that. So I'll find out how to put your template in properly instead of just dropping it in, and then I'll get back to you. But for now, let's continue filling in these fields. Okay, go back here and go back to our fields. Student name, you all know me. Student number, this is where I actually wanted that. So if you really want to, you put that in the wrong field, you go back there, cut that out, say okay, I want that blank now. Paste that there. Okay. What else can we change? Time, no I don't think time will change on its own. Let's see, title. We see over here PCB name and PCB title. So we can see that that doesn't exactly have the same name, but we know that PCB title is already falls in that field. So go to PCB title and let's call it Free Joy. Yay! What else? Anything else important? Let's have a look here. Scale, that's fine. Sheet 101. Revision. Let's make this revision 1. This is the first time we're doing this. Revision, you know, how many times you're doing it over, coming back, changing it, testing it. So let's make this revision 1. I think I can find this menu there. Select that one. Say OK and close. And scroll away and come back. And we see that the student number has changed, that's changed, my name is there, Free Joy, and A2101 revision. This will change automatically on its own. You can't change this, because if you'll notice that there, the exact same thing I have in the top over here. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure we save as. If you just say save, it's going to save over the template file, like I made that mistake yesterday. So let's find where we want to keep this. Going back to my homework in PCB, and I'm going to save it here as new test. A mint. Okay, see, that changed on its own. So that was one of the things I wanted to show you. The other thing was I wanted to show you what the file will actually look like when you're done. Should look something like this. I'll just drop it in here. I think this is mine. Yes, this is my completed file. Just give me a sec. Okay, so this is my schematic that I've done. Remember, yours won't look exactly like this, but it should look something similar. This one still has something that shouldn't be here, which is this one over here. This is my input and output terminals. This terminal, because my schematic had a bit of an error at the time and I didn't fix it, I'm now stuck with this. But I'm okay with it and I've left it as is. I hope that you take more care. Anyway, let's just zoom in here. You'll notice that I have these displayed here. Now you guys might have, because of the steps I took you through yesterday, you might have no information here, just your components showing and everything. Let me just show you. This is the top of my board, that's the bottom of my board, I pressed 6, and this is the top and the bottom together, pressing 7. If the top and the bottom together, you can see that some things are overlapping. Now the green is my copper pour, which is on top. I'm going to just right click here. Oops, actually, yes, there was something as well yesterday I showed you guys. I said I'll explain. Now every time I click, because I have my copper pour on top, or because I have so many things here, every time I click once, these menus will pop up asking me what I want to select. Now these can be useful and annoying, so I'm going to show you how to get rid of this. Sometimes this can just bother you and you won't actually get done what you want to get done, because say for instance I want to click there. I can't, it's going to keep asking me to select. I can just choose to, there's the copper pour top, which I could select that. Notice it's connected to ground net. I could select the pattern, which is on top, which is J1, which is what I'm aiming for, or the copper pour on the bottom of the board, because I have the top and the bottom layer selected. Let's see if I close this, and I just press 5 for my top layer only. You saw the bottom part disappeared. Let's click again, the cycle picking. Okay, so I still have the option to select the bottom. Oh no, this is all top. See, the bottom disappeared, copper pour on the top, the line on the top, and the pattern on the top. Those are my options. So for now, I want to select J1. So it's selected that component. Okay, sweet. I move that around and you'll notice that my tracks might follow it as well. So actually, once you've done all your routings, you don't want to change anything. I'm just going to press Ctrl Z to undo that. Notice also, if I draw a big selection box around everything, everything is selected. And I want to move that around. Now my lines are still stuck there, but I'm able to select my board outline. Press Ctrl Z, bring that back. This can be annoying because, say for instance, I only want to change certain things, like if I right click, I want to go open my properties menu, which is what I want to show you guys right now in this video, but it's not showing. No matter what I do, it's not showing. I can show you how to fix that. Let me just scroll away, scroll back. Yes, sometimes if you find out you have something, let's see, that. Anyway, sometimes if you find out your board looks a bit funny, something happened like a glitch or a backspace, scroll away from it, scroll back, and it will fix itself. Okay, So what I wanted to show you was this. I wanted to get rid of this pop-up dialog menu, and to do that, I press escape, get rid of that menu, go to options, selection mask. I'm going all the way down to single selection, because it's not available in block selection. Make sure you're on single selection, go down and you go to cycle picking. Single select mode, there's that pop-up dialog box that is currently selected. If I choose cycle picking and I say OK, every time I click, I won't have that problem anymore. But now what you can also see is that because the copper ball is everywhere, it's taking precedence, meaning that it's naturally going to select the copper ball first. Unless I go to a fine point, see, I can't even select that label there, J1. So to do this, what I could do is, instead of deleting my copper ball, so I still want to make edits, I right click, give me a second, make sure my copper ball is selected by doing that. You can see it's selected, right click, and you can say unpaw. You can come back to it later and repaw if you really want to. Well, actually is what you really need to, because your board needs to be complete. Anyway, that was just for visibility purposes. However, I still can't select the components. I can, but I'm going to have a tough time. You know, cycle picking I think means, you know, eventually you'll get it. Yeah. Okay, now in order to actually view my components, do not select my copper ball. We go back to our selection mask. Go to selection mask, and for our copper ball, we turn that off. Make sure it's cleared, and we go to block selection. Make sure those are cleared there. Now we can do what we need to do. Say OK, and I can select my components. Awesome. You can select that too. Now, because I've okay, let me show you this here. Preferences, mouse. Because I have selected, I have my control or shift behavior. I prefer to have, when I hold on control, I can select certain parts, and when I hold on shift, I can select multiple components. I prefer it this way. You can choose the other way by changing it to that option, but I'm going to stick with this one. So if I hold on control, I can select that, because you guys, if you're looking at your schematic right now, you'll notice that yours, all of your things are probably, let me show you an example. Like that. Okay, so if I'm correct, your board will look either something like this, which is yesterday's terrible, ugly design. Let's zoom in, where you think to yourself, oh, result, but none of my stuff is showing, I followed the steps, everything. But you see that there's no component labels, anything like that, right? Or your design looks something like this, which is where in my beginning stages I moved everything aside, and now I still have all this messy text and everything everywhere. Right, so let's go back to this one. This was yesterday's, right? I told you to do a few things to hide all the unnecessaries so that you could move the components on. So now you want to bring some of those things back, and now you select everything, and you go properties. Aha, see, I can't select properties, and it's still saying, oh, I can't do it. But that is why we have a selection mask. Why this is happening is because I want to only adjust the properties of my components, but you can also adjust the properties of your lines or your routing, but you can't do that at the same time because those are separate menus. So how do we fix that? Easy. Go to options, selection mask, and deselect line. Make sure that it's clear. That is for block selection and for single selection. Right. Clear that, and let's try again. However, okay, and now go select everything, only the things we want, or you could actually do a big ass block. You'll notice that only the components are selected and the routing is still in place. Oh, pretty. Okay, Control Z, properties. Aha, but there's something else I want to show you. Let's go back to my other schematic. I think it was, no, not that one. This PCB. I moved the copper ball aside because at the time I didn't know about the selection mask. But let's go ahead and put that back there. Now I want to adjust the properties of my components. I can't. The copper ball is in the way. The same thing applies. Go to options, selection mask, and look, I have all of this selected. Now you might think, oh, I don't know what's wrong, what can I select? Easy, start over. There's nothing starting over. Go clear all. Then you start from the top. What is it you want? You don't want arcs, You don't want attributes, none of that. You just want to select your components, right? Say to yourself, I'm just trying to collect my components. So choose your components. Make sure you do the same thing in single selection. Okay, I'll leave that off so you can see what happens. Single selection, and now do a nice big block, and now we can select our components without shifting anything around. That can maintain your neatness, and you can change your properties. Let's say, for instance, I just wanted to select a single component. I can't because I haven't selected that option. Options, selection mask. In single selection, make sure I have my components. Oops, connections, no, just my components. Say okay. Now, in single selection or block selection, I can select my components. Okay, so the other thing is, before I proceed to the next menu, you might be saying to yourself, but my component board still looks something like this. I still can't see my RefDes or reference designators or pin numbers. So what you want to do is select all your components, right click, and properties. Okay, oh, this was the same call, but yeah. So RefDes, make sure you choose that, and type, because remember I told you to switch all of these off. So we want all to see all of these now. I think for now we don't actually need the type, but I'll show you what it does. Let's put that on, see what it does. Say okay. So there we go. We have everything back. But this is ugly. We don't want or need this right now. How did I select that separately? I hold on, because my selection in preferences, I did this. In mouse, I have control to sub-select. Sub-select is when you only want to choose a certain part of the component. So I hold on control, and I select that part. If I didn't hold on control, I'd just select the whole component, and I'd be clicking like crazy trying to get that. Hold on control, sub-select, and then you can move what you want to move. But we don't want these right now, and we don't want to delete them either, because we need it there to label our components. So let's just zoom out there, go back to our properties, and type. We don't need type right now. I think we can leave value for now. In the schematic I don't actually have values, but if it's too obtrusive or in your way, you can get rid of it. These readings, I think these are supposed to be set to RefDes, but for now we can leave it blank for this schematic. Okay, leave this and say okay. Yay! All we want to work with now is we just want to have our reference designators. We want to know what's what. So now, in terms of orienting it, we don't want to be anywhere on the component, because once you put the component on the board, you're not going to remember what's where. If you look at any circuit board that you have an example of, you'll see that the reference designators are always somewhere outside of the block, nowhere where the tracks should really be or where your components are, because you want to see it afterwards. So you could put about there, wherever you feel comfortable, as long as near the component and not putting it over there, because that's not J2. J2 belongs here. Anywhere around that, it's up to you, as long as it stays within the board and not on the side of the board as well. Okay, the other thing is, you are welcome to orient it the way you please to, the way you wish to orientate it. In other words, if you want all of them to be facing sideways like that, you want to view the entire component or circuit board like this, everything sideways, it's fine, it's up to you, you can choose that. However, make sure you choose one direction, because otherwise you'll be turning the board around and around and around trying to figure out what's what. Like C3 is facing that way, C5 is upside down, all of that. So let's try and make all of these nice and neat. I'm going to go and also, once I've selected, press R, rotate. Much easier than clicking it and then right click, trying to find how to rotate it. No, just click R, rotate. That's why shortcuts are awesome. Okay, I'll put that somewhere there. Seeing as I have no connection here or anything that's in the way. Remember, these are wires over here. That's why I won't put them there. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the trouble of rearranging everything now. It's not important. Seeing as I've already done it, I just wanted to illustrate that to you. So this is one of my old ones. You'll notice that I have that there, that RefDes, all these funny things, unnecessary things here. So I'm just going to adjust this, see if I can. Okay, now you might say I followed everything. Yeah, I went and I did this menu, but I'm still having unnecessary things showing, like RefDes. Why is that? I can explain. You don't have to select everything like that. just go to options, selection mask, and oh no, oops, wrong menu. Options, display. Display is what we want to see. We go to miscellaneous, and we go to our, where is it? I think it was somewhere here. Actually no. Why is that? That is because that's not from a menu. You could go to every menu to change everything, but you'll find that this RefDes will still be showing. That is because I'm set to the top layer, which is Control 1. I'll show you. See, I still have my template here. On the template layer, I think just about everything will be showing. So I'm going to go to my layer 6, which is my top of the board. Press layer 5, and there we go. Those RefDes are gone. But these still funny things here. Let's get rid of that. Properties. Go to pattern. And I want to get rid of that type. Get rid of that too. These, if you have component values, or if they've actually got other ranking, I think, then you're going to, I think you'll want to leave these on. For us, it doesn't really matter right now. There, that's much neater. I can work with this. And then in the end, your component or circuit board should look something like this, once you've arranged everything. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I've done it, I've just chosen to do it this way. I think with that, and done. Okay, so I think that is about everything I wanted to show you guys for today. I hope this was helpful. Also please, as I said before, because it's YouTube, like, share and subscribe. No, not actually. Please, I don't need subscribers. Just what you can do is, I'm not sure if I'll be making more videos. Depends. If you guys feel there's certain way you want me to do things, certain things you want me to explain, go over again, do it slower, certain questions you have, you can ask me. I'll try my best to answer them or get the answers for you. If it gets to such an extent where there are a lot of questions, I will then put together a frequently asked questions board. Other than that, good luck and have fun. Cheers.